Hi, friends. My name's host Eric. I'm the host of Talking to Business People, and the proud creator of a video that in the last 12 hours or so has earned an impressive 137 thumbs down. A heartily impressive 137 thumbs down. Well, of course, I made fun of someone's hat. So naturally, I'm going to be the most reviled man on YouTube. 137 thumbs down in 12 hours? It's so delightful to me. It's like, are these people actually getting offended by my video about Florian Marcou's hat? It's incredibly impressive, right? It's like, wow, these people really hate me. It's a 1.5 minute long video, too. It's got 1,500 views already. And 137 thumbs down. I woke up this morning. I watched the first thing I did when I got out of bed was watch the highlights of the USC game last night, which was so exciting. It was such a good game. And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about my hat video. I gotta check see how it's doing. It's so fun. It's like that's what's wonderful about YouTube is no matter how often I just continue to boringly be the same and do the same kind of things and gradually sort of inch along the growth arc here. YouTube's always got fun surprises in store for you. Like when I put up that hat video yesterday, I assumed it would be like most of my little videos. It would get, since it wasn't about typology, it would get 60 views and 5 thumbs up, and that's it. Instead, it surprised me entirely. It was like, oh, I guess because this is topical to the moment, that it's got a lot of attention. Yeah, people are really unpredictable. But on the other hand, they can be quite predictable. I was very struck by the ability I had the other night to good morning, Winston's mom. The angry INFJ, he might just be an INFJ. I hope he's not too angry. I don't know. Have you Winston's mom, have you expressed sufficient respect for the hats of the world this morning? Because, you are very vulnerable to critique if you don't. You don't want to be like me and earn 137 thumbs down. Hi, utter self. What do you think? It's been about 12 hours. Maybe a little longer. Maybe 14 hours or something. Good. It's important to respect the country of Albania. Obviously. Well, utter self, I made an extraordinarily controversial video, apparently. Like, it must be bordering on hate speech because I have gotten 137 thumbs down on this video in like no time flat. Wow, that's impressive. 14 likes and 137 thumbs down. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to know that. Thank you, Winston's mom, for informing me of that. If you'd like to see my most hated video ever, there it is. It's a minute and a half of pure reviling filth and horror. I mean, like, how the hell am I supposed to know that's some sort of important hat? You know, it's like, no, I didn't criticize K-pop. Eric, small countries have an unusual pride in their odd traditions. Perhaps they want to have some justification for existing, despite being useless in the modern world. I can just repeat this with other Balkan countries. I just got to find out what kind of hats they wear and make fun of them, and I can be a hugely successful, hated hat critic. See, I want some Albanians to show up in the live stream and start talking shit. Well, you don't like our hats, huh? I remember there was a point where about a year ago, during some of the peak of the Spite Monkey stuff that I was facing, somebody had been sold by Becky on some bullshit, and he emailed me saying, you know, you better concede on this point or I'm going to, and he threatened to like thumbs down all my videos. I was like, go for it. Like, I give a fuck. Oh no, a thumbs down? Whatever shall I do? I have come to be very comfortable with thumbs downs. Apparently there are no insulted INTJ Albanians. I take the comment figuring one of them would fill you in with great detail on the history of the rounded fez. Do Bulgarian hats next? Okay, I will. I will. Somebody last night in the stream said, you know, well, Eric, you got to respect it because would you make fun of one of those little Jewish hats? And I said, well, I mean, the problem with those Jewish hats is that they're not as ridiculous as this Albanian hat. It wouldn't make me laugh, you know. The thing is, the Albanian hat honestly made me laugh yesterday when I was watching YouTube, watching boxing highlights. And at the end of that boxing match, I was like, what is that thing on that guy's head? You know, it's a totally naturally occurring hilarity in the world. And pointing out that this hilarious thing exists is part of my duty as an ENTP. So, I don't know what to tell you, Albania. You don't have proper funny hats? I mean, surely somebody who's in that guy's, you know, crew of people mentioned, you know, that hat makes your head look like a penis, right? Surely somebody did. Well, I think the main reason why the numbers are up there is because of the timing. So it just so happened that the thing I was watching had just been published, and the fight had just been the day before. And so it's like people were looking up the fight for just because they're interested in the fight. But I don't doubt also that there are some other people in the world who Googled Florian Marco's hat, like, what is this thing he's wearing, right? And that's probably why it's got good numbers, is because of the topicality. It's if you do topical things, they have good initial burst. I've had this experience before when about like the fires or an earthquake in Arcadia. Those ones get like over 1,000 views really quick, and then they die real quick too. So life's fun. Life's a lot of fun when I'm not feeling too tired or anything, Disney Black asks, if creators get too many thumbs down, will it affect the algorithm? Well, I mean, I don't know. The thing I like about YouTube is that it seems to reward or punish individual videos, not channels so much. What did you miss? Group hit on a video? Well, Gen Xio, it's this video here. Oh, consistently, not just for one video. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, generally, if people dislike a video, they won't watch very much of it. The thing is, YouTube cares a lot about 10 nationalities that smell kind of funny is a great title. Chinese people, they really do smell kind of funny. Canadians. You cannot get the stink of maple syrup out of your nose after spending some time with a Canadian. Why would Taylor be in DC? Taylor's not in DC, is he? Check the ratio on the Megyn Kelly Alex Jones hit piece. I don't know what the ratio means. Was Taylor in DC rallying or what? Was it like some sort of pro-Trump rally? Well, this has gotten a lot of comments and a lot of engagement. I don't think 20,000 likes, 85,000 dislikes. Oh, pretty good. That's a lot of thumbs down. That's a much lower thumbs down to thumbs up ratio than my Albanian hat video, though. On my Albanian hat video, I have 10 thumbs downs for every thumbs up. That's a way higher ratio than that. So I'm more hated than that video. I want to win this contest. I want to be the most hated video on YouTube. The delightful thing being, of course, who has better TE, INFPs, or ENTPs? It depends on the context. Do I use Telebuddy that shows the exact stat? No, I use the YouTube thing. You know, if you click on the analytics for the video, it gives you the most up-to-date stats. It doesn't show you the most up-to-date stats in the on your dashboard, but it does if you click the analytics on it. I really am quite pleased with the way that they've messed with the back end of the YouTube stuff, you know. So the actual numbers are 1,696 videos. 75% of them are from YouTube search, and then it also has a lot from recommended videos. So 75% of the views are from search, and 10% of the views are for recommended videos. And 5% are from subscription feeds, and 3% are from channel pages, and 6% from others. So it's like, the reason this is so successful is because it's hitting search results. But with 1,700 views and 137 thumbs down, that's practically 1 thumbs down for every 10 people. I mean, not quite, but you know. Only I'm allowed to make that joke, Louis 17th. Only me. Mine are opposite because small, I have to drag people in from outside. Hi, MC McPhee. Hi, Lauren McGinley. How are the STPs doing? You guys kicking ass and taking names? That's what you're supposed to be doing. All right, that's your job in life. Kick ass, take names. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, though. If you'd prefer, you can take names first and then kick ass. Hey, you Scott's got any cultural wear that I should make fun of to offend your people? I did a great job of offending the Albanians yesterday. Okay, so I suck at Inky Pinky Rat and now verbal analogy. That means you are not intuitive. You already knew that, though. Make fun of bagpipes, make fun of kilt. Okay, thank you. Because I want to repeat my success with my Albanian hat video. I just need to find a Scottish person wearing something ridiculously Scottish in an inappropriate context, like I did with Florian Marcoux. Scots won't work because they're too big. Oh, okay. I don't know what Miller's is. I've never taken it. Verbal analogy, Miller's verbal analogy test. The Vikings stole all the pretty ones. I see. Well, I like to have fantasies of going back in time, well armed, and being some Sylvan farming community when the Vikings come and they're all charging up with their swords and shit. And I just sit there with my AK just waiting, and then I'm all down and say, fuck off, motherfuckers. That's what you get for being bitches. I have a song, in fact, where I go back in time and kill Attila the Hun with a Glock 9. Yes, I do. I do have that song. Louis XVII. Stop walking in inappropriate lines. I only trust myself to do that. Rumor has it Albanians have the biggest dicks in Europe. I'll tell you what it correlates. So maybe you are not worried about your own masculinity if you're wearing that hat. That's for sure. Another thing to note is for that hat to really be hilarious, it has to be skin toned like it is. You know, you could have had a red one or a green one or something, and it wouldn't have been nearly as ridiculous. The fact that it's like it looks like a condom on top of his head makes it extra ridiculous. What stereotypes do we have about the Scots? I mean, like the only thing I think about when I think about the Scots is this Mike Myers skit on Saturday Night Live where he says, "It's Scottish or it's shit." Like he's like this intense Scottish person who hates everything that's not Scottish and only loves Scottish stuff. So that's what I think of when I think about Scotland. That title is largely disputed. Have you seen Mike Myers shouting "He'd move"? No, I don't know what that is. But that's what I think about when I think about Scotland. I think about like an old Scottish guy who's really obsessed with being Scottish. Or nowadays, I think about you guys. I think about Scotland. BLM does not justify you saying anything without prudence. Okay. Scots shag sheep, Irish shag potatoes. Gotcha. Now, here's an interesting thing I learned not that long ago is to snog is not to have sexual intercourse, but rather simply to kiss. It sounds like it should mean have sexual intercourse, but shag means that, right? That was a Brady Bunch quote, sort of. Louis the 17th. I don't know what episodes of Brady Bunch you've been watching, but no, I just assume it just sounds like it would mean sex, snog. But shag, I learned again from Mike Myers. You know, that's the first time I'd ever heard that term, shag. But then I think I heard snog in, I don't know, like get your hole. I'm gonna get my hole on. Snog sounds like a video game villain. I agree, Jaxiel. It does. The Snoggledites. Yes. If you have shag carpet, that means you expect to have a lot of sexual intercourse on it. Get your hole. Oi! Go get your hole! I'll have to get my hole. It's like I might say, it's time to get my poke on. That would be a reasonable way to express that I'm going to have sexual intercourse. But you're going snorkeling? That's a nice euphemism. My parents referred to an old euphemism to watch the submarine races. Was a euphemism, I guess, for like fooling around in a car. You'd go drive the girl to go watch the submarine races, which is to say that there is nothing to see, I guess. Listen, the thing about bland is it's hard to go wrong with bland. Bland won't give you heartburn. Yorkshire puddings are really nice, and high tea is your favorite. Do they have low and medium tea? The other thing about England in general, that whole island, including Scotland and Ireland and Wales, is they think fanny means vagina when fanny means buttocks. Considering they invented the language, you think they'd get it right. Fiscal Cliff sounds like the name of a grumpy billionaire. Yeah. It's a great name for an investment columnist in the Wall Street Journal. His name's like Cliff Jackson or something. Called himself Fiscal Cliff. Yes, it is my most. I don't think I've ever gotten 137 thumbs down on anything before. So just raw as well. By ratio, yes. And just on raw numbers, yes. I think it's my most disliked video ever. And the great thing about that is I didn't dream for a second when I uploaded that video that it would get anything more than like 60 views and a couple of likes, and that was it. It's another silly little Eric video about nothing. But that's the delightful thing about YouTube, right? Is that sometimes you just get this wonderful little surprise. Before inventing weapons, the Scots would just awkwardly slap each other. Before they invented the sharpened stick. Are our corporeal is a difficult 3 words to say. The video is right here, Evelyn. Right here. My most hated video. It's only 1.5 minutes long, so it's not that much of a time investment either. I said some pretty offensive shit in this video. Pretty controversial stuff. It's gonna make you question whether you ever really knew me. Because if I can say awful, horrible things like I say in this video, then what kind of person am I really? Do you guys get Scottish tablet? What's Scottish tablet? I have no idea what that is. No, it's not 183 views. It's 1,700 views. 1,700 views. Scottish tablet. Okay, I'll Google it. Tablet is a medium hard, sugary confection from Scotland. It's often flavored with vanilla or whiskey. If it's got uncooked whiskey in it, I can't have it. I can't drink alcohol. Swiss milk tablet. Butter tablet. Is it called tablet or tablet? Or do you pronounce it all Frenchy, or is it? I've never heard of it before either. Learn something new every day. Because I am a recovering alcoholic. That's why. Said like tablet. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I quit drinking about 7 years ago, almost 7 years ago. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. Right. You just had to join in on the crowd. The thing is, I suspect that YouTube's algorithm somehow is smart enough to realize that like this is unpopular with random search finders in terms of likability, I guess, but that my subscribers by and large have responded to it normally. So now you're messing with reality a little bit by playing this game, but that's fine. So it's like I suspect that YouTube would sort of try to understand each of these phenomena as an example of a pattern of some sort. So this is a specific pattern, right? That like where the subscribers react to it normally, but everybody else, it gets more attention and then it gets a bunch of dislikes. Well, I mean, I don't know what YouTube thinks about that, but I just find it delightful. That's all. You know, it's like it's only a minute and a half long. And the thing is, I guess you could call it clickbait, but it's not. It's the subject of the video, the title, the thumbnail says, "Why this hat?" The video is a minute and a half long. No, I know that there's no people. That's a good comment herself. I'm not saying it's checked by people. I'm saying I would agree, Louis XVII, that if that video would have hit a certain number of views, then probably some actual human being from YouTube would look at it to see what's going on. That's my guess. You're highly attracted to INFP men, but why they're not able to keep your attraction going? I don't know. Are you a dude or a chick? If you're a chick, I'm not sure how, female sexual attraction works really. Like being a man means it's natural for me to go through the world and notice when chicks are showing a lot of skin or being attractive or whatever. And so they're needy. So you're saying that after you initially get hooked up with them, then they want too much of you or something? And then you get like that's too feminine for you or something? Is that how it plays out? Because I mean, I don't know. That's the bottom line. Is it's very difficult as a man to glean to say any kind of information to a woman about her sexual attraction, because as a man, I'm naturally going to look at chicks if I don't discipline myself, and be like, tits, hump. But that doesn't mean I actually hump anybody else or feel like I'm in any way, shape, or form not just as attracted to Rachel as ever, or more attracted to her even. So I don't know. It's like the fact that your attraction, you're still attracted maybe to other people or something, doesn't, as a man, seem relevant to anything really. It's like, well, of course you're gonna. But see, I don't know if chicks operate like that or not. Revealing too much flesh is a show of desperation and hopelessness. I mean, it can be, or it can be a show of a lot of confidence too. My daughter is not the most modest dresser in the world, although she's gotten more modest as she's gotten a little older. But that's not because of desperation or hopelessness. She was just enthusiastic about being a hot chick, basically. And there's I agree. She's also an ESTP, my daughter, so she doesn't naturally ascribe to the less is more, right? But she definitely does. She definitely is. She enjoys being young and attractive and head turning, and it's not from any kind of hopelessness or desperateness or insecurity. Quite the contrary. She's a very confident young woman, and so it depends on the person. Sometimes that's true, though, what you're saying. I mean, I find INFPs also too emotionally draining to be with or around for too long, I dated an INFP briefly, and it was the most emotionally volatile thing I've ever experienced. I was in a stage of distress, essentially, continually. It was, it's like being punched in your most sensitive area, kind of continually. If you're an ENTP, with an INFP, it's your supervisor. Going out with your supervisor is a bad idea. And there's a type that's unlikely to reveal too much flesh, though. That's true. You don't think was partially due to circumstance, not just intertype relations? Cool. How is supervisor? Oh yeah. I see what you're saying, Susie. Yes, I do. I think that had a lot to do with circumstances too. I agree, but I think that the circumstances were going to be emotionally volatile no matter what. But the reason I was even in the circumstances in the first place was because she was an INFP, and my supervisor. Well, I strangely feel kind of used, I guess, which is ridiculous, but it's like I feel like when I look back at myself at the time, I see a much less mature Eric who's much less capable of doing battle with FI stuff than I am now. And yeah, it certainly had plenty to do with the circumstances, Susie. She only wanted me for the vitamin D. Yeah. I mean, I think she wanted me for FI dumpster reasons too, you know, or FI payoff reasons, I guess. Like I was a different kind of FI than she was getting elsewhere, I guess. I don't know. FI confuses me. I don't like to talk about it. It makes me feel like confused when I start talking about FI. And I don't like feeling confused. INFP goals attain some kind of resource. It's just like TWFP tax or something. I don't know. That's what I called it when I thought of it as a taxonomy. I can still call it TWFP tax, even though it makes larger claims than tax. It's fine to make a less bold claim in the title of it or the name of it. TWFP tax is, the TWFP taxonomy. And it's better to call it that because it's not just mine. It's the product of this community, playing aggressive defense against everything the whole way along and adding ideas and everything. So this is a Burns-o-matic. You can't even see the name on it anymore. It's all rubbed off. But this kind of torch head can take math gas too, which is why I got this kind of torch head. It's also got an automatic sparker, so I don't have to use a sparker on it, right? The reason that you want to use a torch when pulling bong rips is it just smokes it all up so much more effectively. Now, look, if I were using Rachel's bong, which is a smaller bong that's Rachel sized, instead of a big Eric sized bong, then I'd be well served to use a lighter, because this bong has got a lot better like pull, which is to say there's a lot less air to move before you start pulling through this thing. The holes are smaller, so it's a tighter pull. You recall an instance of a woman intentionally exposing her midriff in a public venue? Well, I'm glad to hear this, Louis XVII. You immediately contacted the proper authorities, and the harlot was swiftly escorted from the grounds. Glad to hear that. I want burkas, lots of burkas. I want burkas, and yeah, no flesh from you in your burka, yeah. Burka, girls. Putting all the girls in burkas. Number one priority. I mean, you really got to have a problem with women if you're a male-dominated society and you end up with a way of being that causes you to see almost no chicks ever. Like, what? That's not a good plan. You people aren't nothing but burkas and penis hats. Welcome to Albania. Oh, you mean the land of burkas and penis hats? So anyway, this bong is You love girls who expose flesh, but you don't want them as my wife. There's sort of pleasant scenery out in the world, right? You know, it's like, it's nice to see some thought out in the world bouncing around idiotically, you know? It's, oh, you're so dumb. Look at you. It's adorable. My West is melting away culturally. Well, I'm not melting away culturally. And I'm pretty West. Don't forget that half the girls in burqas would probably be prostitutes covering themselves up. What? That's, I don't know, offensive in some regard. The burqa lifestyle and keep your woman inside. Keep your women inside. Actually, my ex-wife Candace, she worked at a preschool that had a lot of Saudi Arabians in it, and the wives in America, they didn't have to do all that shit, you know. And then, like, they talk about it some. Anyway, if you want to talk about burqas and Islam, read this book. Read this book. This will tell you. Read this book and read Infidel by that other lady. There are two great books on Islam by two women, both of whom I respect a great deal. Marlene Satrapi is this one's name. I actually put up something in the community tab that nobody liked at all, of course, because, I mean, the thing is, this lady is was a upper middle class Iranian under the Shah, okay? And then Infidel is pretty biased. Really? Have you read it? What's biased about a woman telling the story of her own genital mutilation on Islamic grounds? What's biased about that exactly? So it's like, this is awful shit. You know, it's like this woman was a rebel even as a kid. It's like she was under the Islamists going down to the black market to purchase American music and stuff. And yeah, Douglas Wentworth, right. No, it doesn't. Look, there's no disputing that her experience being raised under Islam is not uniformly the experience of all Muslims. Now, note, there was a political dissident, 18-year-old woman hiding in one of her uncle's basements or something like that. And they found her, the Islamists found her. And of course, they executed her, but they don't execute virgins. So they marry her first, right? Shit like that. That's a policy of that country. You know? Think about Egypt. Egypt had mass demonstrations representing the broad will of the population that the United States extradite to Egypt a filmmaker to be executed because the film had been insulting to Muhammad. If our entire country thinks that, it's a pretty mainstream position. It's also anathema to the civilized world. It's anathema to civil society. You cannot prioritize what you consider sacred over everyone's free expression rights. And as a culture, Muslims do that. So that means that's barbaric. That's barbarianism at its simplest. No, we don't nuke them. I'm not trying to make war with Islam here. I'm just saying we stop lying about it, right? We tell the truth. We stop lying about it. When somebody gets beheaded for drawing a picture in Scandinavia, we uniformly, as a world, start drawing pictures of Muhammad so that we make it clear that's not acceptable, that we will always push back in favor of free expression, that everyone has a basic responsibility to uphold universal negative moral prohibitions, regardless of their religion. And if your religion says otherwise, then your religion can go fuck itself. Oh, France? Was it in France? My bad. The time before it had been in Scandinavia, right? Actually, I know Charlie Hebdo is French, but I don't know why I thought it was Scandinavia. I just did for some reason. I thought it was in Sweden that somebody got beheaded recently. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, these are very simple things, very straightforward questions that everybody should be able and willing to answer. Do you prioritize free expression or Islamic rules? If it's not free expression, then you are a barbarian. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Okay, my bad on the country. I was wrong. I was wrong about Scandinavia. Everybody slapped me. I was wrong about Scandinavia. There were characters in 2005 in Denmark. Nobody died, but people got arrested for plotting terrorism. Raymond Muniz votes for more hat videos. What are you trying to get me a strike? Those hat videos? That is borderline hate speech, Eric. With Beijing Biden getting into office, we'll be having wars in the Middle East with Muslims in no time. I'm not in favor of I'm totally not in favor of shooting people in the Middle East. Okay. My policy advocacy is to get U.S. troops out of the Middle East, get U.S. military involvement as much out of the Middle East as possible, without throwing away everything that has been gained entirely. So you don't want to just pull out, uniformly without any thought at all. But well, thanks, Jenny and Al. I appreciate that. Psychology tricks keep your girlfriend attracted to you madly. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that. Whatever the trick is, I seem to have successfully done it because I feel very, very well loved by my girlfriend and extremely appreciated by my girlfriend, and I hope I make her feel well loved and appreciated as well. But well, Temple, where my position is this: there are a couple of basic statements that we put out there and say you either affirm this statement with us or you are not part of civilization. You are uncivilized. And as such, your behavior if you're going to do this sort of shit, will not be tolerated. We will not tolerate barbarians at the gates. In Denmark, it was 40 caricature artists involved. It got published by a newspaper, and they called it Face of Muhammad. Not very subtle, but it illustrates how things have changed in the past 20 years. Watch Bitter Lake for a cursory introduction to the whole great game there. Nice, very nice talk. Today, nobody would dare. Their extreme being offended is working. Well, it's not working on me. And Freddie Fortunato, I would say, well, it's why I qualified my pulling out of the Middle East. What I want to stop doing is causing negative net impacts, which I think, like when we use drone strikes and shit and kill innocent people, the net harms are vastly greater than the net benefits. It's like the U.S. decision makers are making these decisions in a what most Arabs do is assume that they have to fix the world and do their religion right. They just end up being extremely offended, and it just makes the situation worse. Well, I mean, that's a reasonable thing to say on that song. I mean, the thing is, I'm not saying actually just pull straight out of places, right? And I'm not afraid to go and engage places. But what I don't want to do is create the kind of, look, it will always be the case that moral high ground matters. And in the current status quo, the U.S. has no moral high ground at all. It has no moral high ground. We are not adhering to any principles. We are not supporting any principles. You know, it's like, I mean, I am in favor of stopping killing people, right? I'm not necessarily in favor of pulling out all the troops, but I'm definitely in favor of the United States not purposely killing people in an extra legal non-war that makes no sense, you know? So there's no legal justification for us killing quote unquote enemy combatants that anybody can point to. There's absolutely no legal justification for it. The assassination of that Iranian general, no legal justification for it at all. If the U.S. wants to have any moral high ground, it can't go around assassinating people. It can't go around drone striking people. You know, it's got to uphold some principles. If the United States is going to have any kind of leadership in the world, if it's going to help the world be more than it is currently, it's got to serve its own interests. It needs to uphold the values that have made it successful thus far. If you got drafted, would I dodge? If I got drafted, we'd be in big trouble because I'm almost 50 years old. It would mean that all the young men had already died and we were almost at the end of our possible soldiers. So, no, I wouldn't dodge it at that point. Obviously, we'd be in big trouble. Eric, let's please talk about love, relationship, and sex. Okay, Shikari Bono. What specifically would you like to know about love, relationship, and sex? Were you the one who asked what's a trick to get your girlfriend to stay attracted to you forever? I'm not sure. I'm not sure there is such a thing. I'm not sure why it is that Rachel loves me so much. I have no idea. But she makes it clear enough to me that I don't worry about it, as I may have thought about it in previous relationships. Like, well, this woman doesn't seem to like me very much, which was usually the case. It seems like the woman was always trying to correct me and getting frustrated with me and telling me how difficult I was to be with. I've had a succession of women tell me I'm so difficult to be with, right? And now all of a sudden I have a woman who actually loves me. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's a difficult question for me because I have no idea. I can't even begin to answer the question. Why does Rachel love me so much? But I believe that she does. But I don't know why. I don't even know how to answer that question. I don't even know what that question means, you know? It's like if you were to ask me, well, why do you like Rachel so much? I'd say, well, she loves me a lot, you know? She loves me well. I feel well loved. She doesn't seem to oppose me. She's she she's pleasant, you know? Um I don't know. It's like how do you even answer this kind of questions, right? It's a pleasant relationship. It's very agreeable. There's nothing. See, when I try to answer questions about how I feel, why I what it means to feel something, I come up with reasons to justify claims that I'm in a good relationship, which is not really the same thing as feelings. You know, I'm not sure what I get confused when I start talking about feelings. It kind of hurts my head. Men may be more aggressive, but women are more critical and judgmental about a person's personality. I mean, Rachel's not critical or judgmental of me at all, and I'm not critical or judgmental of her at all, nor am I aggressive or controlling at all. So we have a very mutually respecting relationship. We're very respectful to each other. And we treat each other really well. And we don't speak harshly to each other. And we don't criticize each other. And yeah, so I don't know why. Um, except I just think we're just ultra compatible. And compatibility matters a lot because you want to be on the same page with the other person most of the time, if not always. And I feel like I'm I'm always on the same page with Rachel. So I don't know. It's weird. I feel like woozy when I'm trying to pay attention to my feelings. It's not comfortable. Every girlfriend I have ever told me at one point, you are not my father. Same bed works better. I don't know what same bed is. Um, your problem is you always pay attention to your feelings and you can't stop it. Well, you must be an introverted feeler then. I don't know what you're talking about, Louis XVII, when you say don't lie, same bed works better. I don't know what you're talking about. The Hulkster's intro song, Real Merkin, was a good one. Rick Derringer actually dedicated to the Donald a couple years ago. Donald should have used that one instead of his proud to be blah, blah, blah. Problem is, I always pay attention to my feeling. INFP. Well, you know a lot more about this stuff than I do then, Shakira Bono, ultimately. The thing is, you probably feel like it's difficult for you because if you're always knowing what you feel, then I mean, like, if I thought that if I thought that my feelings were determined about things, then I would have to like change my position all the time, because it's like I feel differently all the time depending on usually my SI shit. My emotions, I get very emotional when I don't get enough sleep, and that emotion is sort of broad and applied to everything. Like, oh my god, that commercial makes me cry. Oh my god, man. Well, Rachel and I we never sleep in the same room. It's almost impossible for us to sleep in the same room. We both have kind of FE things going on where it makes it challenging for us to sleep together, because like she's constantly aware of how much she's moving around and stuff, and whether or not that's making noise and possibly I'm hearing it and being kept awake by it, like that kind of bullshit. I kind of do the same thing, but it's not nearly as severe. But we both sleep better when we're not in the same room. And then there's also the issue of where the cat sleeps and whether that interferes with our sleep, because we both have FE problems with the cat too. So we both sleep better when the cat's not sleeping with us, because like if the cat's on the bed, I've got a corner of my mind the whole time reserved for don't kick the cat, or don't roll over this way because the cat's over there. You know, if I'm out here and it's on the bed, it's even worse because the bed's a lot smaller, and I have to sort of constrain myself a lot to sleep with the cat. And of course, the obvious thing to say is, Eric, why not just kick the cat off the bed? Which I do frequently enough when we're out here. Rachel would never do that, of course. Her FE is too powerful a determinant in how she operates in the world. But of course, it's instrumental, so she doesn't like that, right? It bothers her, but she still doesn't kick the cat off the bed. So this is what it means to have fourth and eighth slot SI trying to figure out sleeping situations. Eric, I have the most powerful FE. What do you mean? Like, I am charismatic in some sense, that people like me? I mean, that's good to hear. I like that a lot. Or you could mean people dislike me. It's strong one way or the other that they like me or dislike me. I would point out, Ghost, that no matter, I would guess that I was really bringing some FE likability in that hat video because I was enjoying the thing so much and so authentically. But nevertheless, so many thumbs downs. Women are biologically made like this. They always go for better and strong men. That's why any other men can influence them. That's why we need to keep a check on them. Okay, listen, Shikari Bono, that stuff, I don't like that nonsense, okay? Yeah, that's your own insecurities is right. And let me tell you this, that I'm not worried that Rachel let's say that Frank James, who's younger, more attractive, and way more successful than me in the same basic field, were to fall in love with Rachel and start, talking with her, chatting her up or whatever, and trying to get her to leave me and go with him. Well, number one, I mean, we have a very close relationship. We'd be talking about his contacting her a great deal right off the bat. It would be a point of like fascination, I'm sure, at first, and then it'd be like, oh shit, he's really trying to go after you, Rachel. And the thing about that is, I'm not worried about it. It's like, if she were ESFJ, maybe I'd be worried about it. But it's like, I'm not worried about it for multiple reasons. But number one is, like, let's say she were to go off with him. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious to me that I'd end up winning that battle long term. In other words, she would not end up better off. She'd end up regretting the biggest mistake of her life. It was like that relationship wouldn't last. It wouldn't be anywhere close to as good as this one, and it would just be an absolute disaster. She'd regret it forever. So I'm not worried about it. If she were to choose that, I wouldn't lose the battle. If an ENTP was after her, would you worry? I mean, no. And the reason is because if an ENTP were after her, it would mean the ENTP was considerably less far along their growth arc than I am. And they're not going to be able to compete with me. If they're able to compete with me, they wouldn't do that. So everybody should worry if an ENTP is eyeing your object of affection. I don't think ENTPs by and large steal people's other people. I don't think that's likely to happen. I think that it's much more likely to happen that somebody else's other is going to pursue the ENTP, who's not going to know better for a little bit and then eventually realize this is a mess I don't want to get involved with. Assuming they're healthy ENTPs, Well, yeah, eyeing your object of affection, not your full-on partner yet. Like if you're in competition with an ENTP guy for a girl, well, I don't know. It's like, it depends what kind of person, what kind of girl she is. Like if it's an ISFP or something, I don't think ENTP has a particular advantage there necessarily. But Jack Sparrow's an ENFP, right? There is such a thing, not my full-on lady partner. Not for me, really. I tend to try to go dive head first, full on into every relationship. 149 now. Wow, fun. What was it when I started the video? What was the title of this video anyway? $137. Wow, that's good. That's 12 thumbs down growth. Oh, Florian Marcoux. You're so cray. With your crazy hat. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what YouTube does with this video kind of long term, because it should have good viewer retention. Oh, I'll put the link right here. It's pretty offensive, just to warn you all before you watch it. If you are hat sensitive, please do not watch this video. It could have triggers in it. Well, it's got a lot of It's got yeah, it's incredibly offensive. So just be forewarned. Your ears are going to get quite a violation when you listen to this. Fortunately, it's only an hour. It's only a minute and a half, so it'll be over pretty quick. That's the thing. Being only a minute and a half, is probably going to get pretty good watch time. You can't like or comment on those. The offensive content trophy. I don't know. Isn't it though, introverted thinker? Isn't it though? You know what, Susie? I wish they just disliked the hat. Apparently, they disliked my video at a remarkable rate. It's like the thing that's so beautiful about this is that my most hated video of all, after all the controversial shit I say and talk about or whatever, is a video where I make fun of someone's hat. Isn't that delightful? It just makes me so happy. If Marku challenges me to a boxing match, I'm going to decline. It's obvious that it's a traditional hat. Obvious to whom? To you, maybe. I mean, that was just a totally honest response to what was obviously to me a ridiculous hat. I had no idea it was some sort of special hat or whatever. If I started a YouTube channel making fun of people's hats, what would I call it? Making fun of people's hats? Making fun of people's hats is a great channel name. Making fun of people's hats is really a strong channel idea. It's a niche market for people who like to make fun of hats. Or you could call the channel "What's Wrong with This Hat," which is another good name for the channel, right? And you could just do an episode for every kind of hat. What's wrong with this hat? Like, a baseball cap with the ugly hats. Ugly hats is probably the best choice. That's some demonstrative NI there, Susie. Ugly hats is probably the best choice if there's not already a channel called Ugly Hats. Make an Instagram for this idea at Talking with Famous People. Ugly Hats Instagram. Should make shorter videos like Frank James and it'll be more successful. I mean, I should make shorter videos. I should make a lot more uploaded videos. I think it got downvoted because it's just super visual observation. It's just me enjoying that guy's hilarious hat. I've got lots of hats. Well, here's one. Here's one of my hats. It's just an authentic video of me naturally defends. I know. It's like when I made that video, my expectation was that it was going to get 60 views and 6 likes and no comments, like every other kind of little video like that I make, It just so happened, I sort of realized or figured out afterwards that right here, I realized that, oh, because it's so topical. The fight just happened. And it was a controversial outcome in the fight. It was a draw, and it shouldn't have been. I watched all the highlights of the fight. I watched about 15 minutes worth of. Yes, there's a video about hats. A video that, frankly, I think if you want to thumbs up it, I'd appreciate it probably, because it would tell YouTube that there are people who like it as well. Okay, well, I mean, Raphael, it's not a joke, right? It's what you might call a reaction video. I'm reacting to seeing this guy's hat. It's only a minute and a half long, so you can't really expect me to say a whole hell of a lot, right? Bye, Running Fox. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese today. It's the only way you'll grow big and strong. If I had popular people on my channel, would it ruin the integrity? No, I don't. I mean, I treat everybody the same. That's it. So, okay, Raphael. Well, obviously that's why people hate it so much, I guess. It must be offensive, like you're saying. A lot of people must feel like you do. I find that hilarious. It's not intended to be a critique of the guy, really. I mean, I think the number one thing that video is a reminder to everybody to lighten up, right? A reminder to everybody to just lighten up. No, we're not going to eat. Don't forget to eat 0 vegan cheese and only real cheese. That's fine, Raphael. It's still a basic reminder to everybody they need to lighten up, right? I'm making fun of somebody's hat. Take a chill pill. You can critique it all you want, but at the end of the day, you're stuck with the fact that you are being upset or contrary about a video where I make somebody fun of someone's hat. And at some point, you have to check yourself in the mirror and go, okay, this is ridiculous. Now I get it. I'm being ridiculous. It was offensive and funny at the same time. It was offensive? I mean, what's offensive about it? How is it offensive? I'm going to edit this. All right, so now it says this. I'm making fun of a hat. On behalf of my most hated video ever, please keep that in mind as my pinned comment. Pin. There. Good enough. 62 comments. These people. Like this guy says, this guy looks like he is on stage 3 cancer. He probably have no life, spending the rest of his days in front of a screen making 200 views videos. Wow. Laughing. I'm making fun of a hat. I'm making fun of a hat. Please keep that in mind. These people. Please see pinned comments. Thank you. Please see pinned comments. Thank you. I love all this insanity. Yes, you are quite insane, you see. Dun, 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 dun. This hate, it was used from the beast kings that have ever existed in the world, and you make what? What? Please see pinned comment. Thank you. Please see pinned comment. Thank you. That hat is a tradition that dates back to the Illyrians, ancient Greeks, over 4,000 years old. Have some respect. Blah, 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 blah. Please see pinned comment. Thank you. There we go. Get all these crazy people too. Get some sense into them, you know. Thank you, Shakir Ibano. Can I sing it? I'm not doubling down. Then Black says, I just watched it. It's easy for me to see how people can be offended. I don't get the offense on this one. Try as you might, you just can't hide because you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, please pull that guy over. I says he's ENTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP. Oh, type police. Oh, type police. Hard to get up there. Thanks, Shakiri Bano. It should be halal to make fun of other people's cultures. Yeah, he was. Read your comment, Mr. Sand Vagina. Is that me? Am I Mr. Sand Vagina? You make fun of this guy's tradition, but he does it to show his love for his country. That makes people don't like you because you didn't get why he put on the weird hat. I'm not playing victim or pussy. What are you talking about? I'm delighted by it. I haven't seen your comment yet. I'll have to go look at it. Twinkle, twinkle, little skunk, how I wonder if you're drunk. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, even if we can see how people would be offended, that's a good learning moment for us because we then remember, oh, that's right. Eric's making fun of a hat. This is a good place for us to put a clear, bright line. FI doesn't get to go that far, right? It's like your arbitrary bullshit does not justify constraining in any way or being offended by a guy who's making fun of a hat. So I'm not going to be offended if somebody makes fun of my hat. And even if it's a traditional hat like this. So this is a traditional hat of my people. What people are those, Eric? Americans. So you can't make fun of it. What about a baseball cap? You can't make fun of a baseball cap because it's a traditional American hat. Listen, this hat's older than your whole country. And that I can't make fun of it, therefore? Can I not make fun of the pyramids either? I mean, talk about a waste of resources, right? Boy, the Egyptians had, oh yeah, now I do. Now that you mention it. I didn't until right now, but now I do remember it. I forgot all about that. So this is what I want to ask everybody who's here. If anybody here has if anybody here, keep in mind I am Albanian myself. I've been Albanian before anyway, at least once. I don't really remember it very well, but and part of my transracial fluidity. Okay, so I'm looking for some kind of channel that that I could talk to. So some kind of like fairly big channel that I could contact them. It would be a good idea for me to potentially contact them and say, hey, I would really love for you to interview me or something. And I would like sort of as a group, if possible, to come up with a few different possible people for me to contact and try to figure out who the best person to try to contact is. Dave Sanderson says, I could try contacting Adam Friended from Think Club. He has 80,000 subs. That's a pretty good idea there. Anybody else have any suggestions regarding people to talk to? And as far as Indian Native American stuff goes, I am a Native American, so part of the Native American tribe called the Arcadia Indian tribe, and we're one of the smallest tribes registered in America. Got 3 people. Okay, well that seems like a good choice. Let me go check out his channel a little bit. He's got 50,000 subs. Let's see if he's got a copy. Okay, I copied the email address. I'm going to open it up here in Gmail, which I got 10 a.m. I got to remember about that too. I thought that was this morning at 10. Their name's Bendy. You know, one of the great things about being a professional typologist like this is I'm going to get to meet somebody named Bendy. I'm going to title it Seeking to Make a Video with You. Hello, my name is Eric Strauss, and I am a YouTuber, and old number. President presidential candidate 2024. I have only 6K subs, but I do be sufficiently interesting to you. I hope it's visually interesting to you. I mean, have to be interesting enough to warrant the attention. Professional debate coach. For competition motivate. And some capacity on either as a guest or as an interviewer. There's a channel called Talking with Famous People. I am I'm professional. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. This is very boring watching me write an email. I'm not even watching the composition of the email, just watching me sit here and type. I appreciate your consideration of this email. Thanks. All right, there. I did it. I did it, Dave Sanderson. I want a gold star. I want Dave Sanderson to give me a gold star. Dave Sanderson, I did it. I want my gold star. So say, good job, Eric. Okay, I'll read you the email out loud. Title is Seeking to Make a Video with You. Hello, my name is Eric Strauss, and I host a channel called Talking with Famous People. I'm also a presidential candidate for 2024 and a professional debate coach for Competition Flow Debate. I'd like to work with you in some capacity, either as a guest or as an interviewer. I have only 6K subs, but I hope to be entertaining enough to justify your time and attention. I appreciate your consideration of this email. Thanks, Eric. And that's what it says. Oops. What did I screw up? What did I do wrong? See, it's just as typing is pretty off. Yeah, and shit stinks too. Big news. He is TI blind. So he is so TI blind it hurts even more. Who's TI blind? Your mom's face? C.S. Joseph typed Trump as an ENTP. Trump's an ESFP, in my opinion. Cancel. Copy link address. Put it in the meow. Top to chat. Boogity-ka-da. Paste. Get rid of the studio. Studio by L'Oreal. Who here uses Studio by L'Oreal beauty products? Who here loves their beauty products? The damage report, 610,000 subs. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I don't think they're gonna. Eric must make a comment video on it. I mean, a 20-second expert opinion. When he clicks your channel, what video is he going to click to know you're serious? I don't know. I think Alex Jones is an ENFJ. That's what I think about Alex Jones. Okay. I'm going to wrap up this live stream now. And I'm going to have to poo. And, oh, I didn't look at your comment yet? Okay, I will. I'll validate your any right now. I don't see your comment anywhere. Auto self. Vegan Schmegan, let's just look to comment. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. These people and their crazy nonsense. See, this guy is nice. This person says is Albanian. He says, I know you don't mean it in a bad way. You're just having a banter. Now, it's an odd way of putting it, but exactly. Just having a banter. Oh, I still don't see your hat, dude. I mean, I don't see your comment, dude. I don't know. You're just another old ignorant idiot not respecting people's traditions. I approve. I don't know how you're still alive, you dickhead. I approve. Shut up, old man. This hat is a symbol of our country, Albania, so shut the fuck up and be careful what you talk about. I approve. This is a traditional Albanian hat. It's more older than your country story, you dickhead. Google first, then speak. I approve. Fuck you. You don't know shit about this hat and how many people give their lives for this hat. In my opinion, when you don't know something, talk and don't play a comedian, you are a fucking grandpa, 60-year-olds without job. Just take your money from your country and shut up. I approve. You are a son of a bitch. No, it's just not. It doesn't have any content to it. What the fuck is the reason for your existence, by the way? Goes on the internet and talks about a hat after such a shameful judging. This fucking loser comes around and talks about something older than Europe itself, calls it penis, laughing at the stupid wife. Fuck you and your age, you stupid uncultured grandpa who behaves like a kid with no knowledge about boxing culture or respect. Do I approve that one? Yes. I actually going to make a video about all the comments I get on this. That's what I'll do. I'll read all of these comments. Okay. Out loud in a video. What happens when you make fun of a hat? I'll call the video. The story of YouTube's most disliked video ever. I don't know what that means. Some race shit, and I'm not going to include the race stuff. You're a stupid human being. Go to sleep. You think you're funny? Ha! Don't fuck with Albanians. Okay. Hope you have some Albanians in your neighborhood so they can fuck you up for disrespecting us. Wow. Pin that comment up your ass, jerk, he says. Fuck your family? Wow. This is great because I'm going to make a great video about what's really offensive, right? What's really offensive? Me laughing at this hat? Is that what's really offensive? So, that's all right. That's what I'm going to do here when I end the stream. Oh, no, I'm not groveling. This is a good learning opportunity for all these people, right? Because, like, you're going to use Notepad? I might use Notepad. Critical thoughts, I'll check it out. And, no, not going to be groveling. I'm going to be reading out loud these comments these people have, right? And I'm going to compare the two. Like, look, here's what I said. I made fun of this hat. Here's what these people say. What's really offensive? Is it what I say, or is it people's overreaction, you know? So anyway, okay, I'll check it out. Okay, MJ. Well, you're going to be looking forward to it for quite a while, I think. Thanks, everybody. Bye.